Hi students, welcome to Wisdom Academy YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see class 10 biology. Okay, life processes. What is life? Actually, the term life doesn't have any actual meaning. Okay, the meaning of the life is very descriptive. For example, someone will say love is life, someone will say food is life, someone will say my family is my life. So it will be keep on changing. There will be no definite meaning for life. But here in biology, what is life? Life is a characteristics which distinguishes the physical body will have a biological process. Okay, any physical body will have a biological process. We call it as a life. Okay, what is life process then? Life process is an important activity performed by the living organism which maintain the body function to survive on earth. To survive on the earth, the body will have some important functions, so it's called as life processes. Now, how to find an object is alive or not alive? Okay, here if the person is alive or an object or anything it is alive, there will be three cases here. If any object is alive, by seeing we can find. Okay, how by seeing we can find an object is alive? The object will be shout, the object will eat, the object will run from one place to another place. Okay, these are all the physical activities. By seeing itself we can find that an object is alive or not. Okay, suppose if any object or any organism which is not in a moving position, okay, it is very idle and closing his eyes, then by seeing far away you can tell that the object is alive? Definitely not. What we will do, you will go near to the object, you will see whether there is the pumping of the heart, not active, you will see the pumping of the heart, and there will be a respiration, whether the organism is respiring, you will check, and in other case you will check the pulse, right? These are all the case when the organism is not active. Okay, contrary, plants is also a living organism. We all know that. If plants will show this kind of activities, the plants will pump the heart? No. We can find the inhale and exhale of the plant? No. The plants will shout? No. Plants will eat? You can find how plants is eating? No, you can't find. Is plant is moving from one place to another place? No. Hence, but plant is also a living organism. How come you find the plant is a living organism? Plant will green in color, plant will show the growth, plant will reproduce, right? Okay. By concluding this, to find an object is alive or not alive, only by seeing the physical activities we can't tell an organism or object is alive or not alive. So we have to find some more processes which these processes will not visible. Okay, the process is not visible. In fact, these not visible processes are responsible for this visible processes. Are you accepting that? Yes. What is this not visible process? This not visible process is called as molecular movements. Why it called as molecular movements? Because the movements are taking place in molecular level. Okay, right. Is this molecular level movement is very important? Yes, of course it's very important, because this molecular movements will do the maintenance and repair work of the structure. Maintenance and repair work of the structure. Okay, why this molecular movement is happening, right? Why this molecular movement is happening? The organism in contact with the physical environment, it keeps breaking down the structure. Okay, organism in contact with environment keeps breaking down, keeps breaking down the structure, right? If suppose the molecular movement is not happening, what will happen to the living organism? It will decompose. Simple, it will decompose. Only this molecular movement is not making the living organism to decompose. For example, if any physical body is there, in that physical body there is no biological process is happening, you will call it as a body or dead body, right? That dead body, day by day, what will happen? It will decompose. The bacteria and fungi starts growing and it will decompose the entire physical body. Yeah. In starting itself, we saw what is the meaning of life, the physical body which will have the biological process. If that physical body is not having any biological process, it's just a dead body, right? Okay. The next thing is, what are life processes? What are life processes? There are 8 life processes are there. Okay. To remember that, there is a short form, we call it as Mrs. Grant. What is Mrs. Grant? Grant is the meaning of an angry woman, okay? Mrs. Grant, M stands for movement, R stands for respiration, S stands for sensitivity, and G stands for growth, R stands for reproduction, E stands for excretion, and N stands for nutrition, and T stands for transportation. Okay, these 8 are called as a life processes. To keep remembering these 8 life processes, one short form is that is Mrs. Grant. Okay, right. Along with these 8 life processes, the molecular movement, that is the maintenance, the molecular movement is going to do a maintenance and repair work, repair process, we can say that. Okay. Along with these 8 processes, the maintenance and repair processes all together is called as a life processes, where these processes get energy for doing their work. Okay, right. Where if any process is going to happen, we need some energy, right? Where these processes are getting their energy, of course, the source of energy is food. The food they are getting from outside the body, the raw material or the entire food, whatever the source of the energy is, they are getting as a food, that is from outside the body. Okay, here comes the first process, nutrition. Okay, nutrition process is the taking up of nutrients from the food what we eat. We are taking food directly. In this food, there are 6 important nutrients are present. Okay, what are all the 6 important nutrients? Carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, proteins, water, and minerals, right? By taking the food, the extraction of the food is called nutrition process. Okay, from the food we are extracting the nutrients. These 6 nutrients we are extracting. This process is called as nutrition process. Okay, since the source of energy is varied, right? We all know that the food is in same type. No, obviously not. We are eating vegetables, we are eating meat, we are eating some roughages, many things are we are eating as a food. Since the source of energy is varied, we need to convert it into a uniform source of energy. Why so? Because while eating the food, some foods will be protein rich, some foods will be carbohydrates rich. Okay, but we have to change it, that energy into a uniform source of energy is called as ATP. Okay, to convert this source of energy into other source of energy, we need some mechanism. Okay, here comes how this is going to happen. It's going to happen by doing some chemical reaction. Our body is going to do a chemical reaction. What is this chemical reaction? It is a oxidizing and reducing reaction. We call it as a redox reaction. Okay, oxidizing reaction is a reaction which lose the electrons, right? This is oxidizing reaction, the reaction which will gain the electrons. To remember this, oil and rig, oxidation is a loss of electron, reduction is a gain of electron. Okay, this both process simultaneously happens in our body. Okay, this chemical reaction is going to happen in our body, redox reaction. Okay, to make the chemical reaction, organism is taking O2, oxygen, to break down the molecules. Okay, that is to break down the food into the ATP molecules. Many organisms are using this oxygen for the chemical reaction. We see that organism use the oxygen to break down the food molecules, right? This process is called as respiration. Respiration is the process which will break down the food molecules and gives us energy. Okay, now you all came to know that why we are respiring, right? We are respiring to get the energy. Okay, respiration in single cell organism, respiration in single celled organism will not have any special tissues or organs. Okay, the single cell organisms will take food and oxygen directly from the environment, because the complexity of the organism will be very less and the size of the organism will be very less. So there is no specific organ or tissues to intake of the food and oxygen. But in case of multicellular organism, the body is complex, and of course there is a million and billions of cells are there, so no possible of diffusion. The food or oxygen cannot transfer from one cell to other cell by means of diffusion. Diffusion, we all know that diffusion is the movement of the particle from higher concentration to lower concentration, right? Here comes the transportation system. What is the role of transportation system? Transportation system is also one of the life processes. We already see that. Transportation system, the role of transportation system is the food and oxygen is taken up by the body, at one place, right? But the energy produced by breaking down of this food by help of oxygen, this energy we need throughout the body. To transfer this energy throughout the body, we need this transportation system. Okay, by means of blood and oxygen, the energy is transferring from one place to all the body parts. Okay, before we see that, in our body there is a chemical reaction. Obviously in chemical reaction, if one chemical reaction is going to take place, there will be a release of byproduct. Okay, these byproducts are sometimes not useful, sometimes or many times it's not useful. But in our body, it is not only useful for the cells but also harmful for the cells. So it is harmful, we can keep it in the body itself? No, we have to expel them out of the body, right? To expel this harmful waste product from out of the body, here comes another process, excretion process. By this I am concluding this video. In this video we saw the introduction of the life process, what are the life processes. In next video we will start the nutrition life processes. Okay, thank you. If you like this video, like and share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.